So when you talk about nutrition, I've seen you post in quarantine that you dig into the good old KFC. So if that's your nutrition now, what was it before?
That was my nutrition. That was my nutrition.
I mean, that's what they call the Mark Hunt diet, right? He loves the KFC too.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on that. I'm trying to get on that diet. I'm trying to hit as hard as Mark Hunt. So and Bam Bam. So I'm just trying to hit like those heavyweights. Now, but on a serious note, yeah, like I used to just just like read up these quick fix diets, like cutting out carbs and doing all these sort of going keto but I did it through my own experiences, and I sort of like, now I've done and tried it. I know that that's not the way to go about it. And now I have like a dietitian. Everybody knows the fight dietitian, Geordie Sullivan. Shout out. But yeah, he's been looking after me. And now, yeah, I'm just a full-time professional athlete, and I have to take this serious. I can't just be, blowing out, 20 kilos overweight, and then, when fight camp starts, trying to cut 20 kilos and trying to upskill and game plan and the rest of it. So just trying to be a full-time professional is, yeah, just, being on top of things.
But having said that, do you have like a cheat day? Like, obviously, we're talking about the KFC, that was after the fight. Now you're stuck in quarantine. I'm sure the quarantine meals weren't that good.
Yeah.
But, do you treat yourself to those? Because I know that there's some athletes that they'll train hard, they'll eat right, they'll have their fight, and then afterwards, obviously, whether it's the drinking, whether it's whatever, they kind of let themselves go a little, which, I mean, you kind of deserve it, right? You've put your body through so much for 3 months, 4 months that you kind of do. But then there's other athletes that have said to me, like, no, why would I put in all that hard work for 4 months to then, after the fact, let it all go again just to do, it's better to stay consistent right throughout, right? So what's your kind of plan of attack there? Like, obviously that was the one meal that you put on Instagram for the world to see, but like, do you have your cheat days, or even with the fight dietitian, does he allow like a day off, or is it pretty strict all year round?
The thing with the fight dietitian is that it feels the way he's planned things out, it feels like you're cheating, because how much he gets you eating throughout camp. So it feels like you're like,
I'm talking about the naughty stuff though.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about how much you eat. I'm talking about like chocolates, pizza, I don't know, KFC.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I'm only human. I'm only human, and people that don't know me before I started fighting, I was actually a 15-year-old 98 kilo kid. So I was always I'm still a fat kid at heart. I'm human. I love having a beer. I love, chocolate. I love, eating chips while I'm watching a movie. I'm only human, but there's obviously a time and place to do that. And I think for a lot of people that just do it strict all year round, I feel like they're just gonna burn themselves out. I know personally, if I tried to do that, and I have tried to do that, I'm going to be strict. And even after the fight, blah, blah, blah. I've said it to myself so many times that I'm going to be strict. Yeah. And then after the fight happens and I try to be strict for 1 or 2 weeks, I sort of burn myself out. And then I end up binging out and, blowing out even more so. So I think having that little mental release, knowing that, Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday, I'll be good. Sunday, I've planned this, and this. So I think it's a good release. I think, what's that saying that, all work, no play makes Jack a dull boy. I think that's very similar to.
And I totally agree, right? Like, because I've said, like, there's as you say, there's keto, there's the carb, there's the paleo, there's so many diets, and don't get me wrong, I think all of them work, right? Mm. The problem I have with all of them is that it's hard to stick at it consistently, right? Because I kind of feel like when you're pulling, it doesn't matter what part of the diet out, whether it's carbs, whether it's, I say, a bit of sugar, whether it's this, that, it's just hard. Because you always feel like you're looking over your back. Like even when you go out with friends, right? And as you say, have a beer, and then you're then like, start calorie counting. And, and it just becomes so hard. And I think that is the problem, because people do so well on these diets. and then they have a birthday or a wedding or something they go to, they let go for that one day, and then it's just a train wreck, right?
Yeah.
Like they just fall back into bad habits, where I feel that if you have a general good diet with the optional day, that you can kind of, that train wreck never starts, because
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, well, my one day I'm going to use on the wedding,
Yeah.
or my one day I'm going to use on the birthday,
Yeah.
right? Like,
yeah, for sure.
and I think that is the problem with most diets. Like I've always said, look, because people always say, oh, what's the best diet? What's the best diet? And I'm like, they all work. It's whether you can stick to them or not.
Yeah, it's about. I think it's about having that balance. It's about having that balance. You don't have that balance, and you just always strict. You're gonna burn yourself out mentally.